I don't think when we started, Connie and I had a particular plan. I mean, what happened was that I went out to a restaurant in sort of Holland Park with dear Jimmy Gilbert, who I'd worked with when he was producer and director of The Frost Report. So I'd done 27 shows with Jimmy. I knew him pretty well. Very lovely, lovely, smart, kind, highly competent, very sort of observant man. And he said, would you like to do a series? And I said, well, you know what I'd really like to do is I'd like to do something with Connie. I'd like to write and perform something with Connie. And he said, well, why don't you go off and talk to her and give me a call when you've come up with something? And I said, after a time, I said, we want to do it based in a hotel. It's very conventional. But everyone knows hotels, so you don't have to explain anything to the audience. You know, in an Undertaker series, you have to explain to the audience how an Undertaker runs, because most people don't know. Everyone knows how hotels run, because we've always been to hotels. We know what goes on, we know what's good service, what's bad service. And he said, fine, write me a pilot.
And now, about my priceless collection of coins.
Oh, yes, do you still...
Do I still want you to take them to be valued by the Duke of Buckley, my lord?
Oh, yes.
No, I don't. Because we just heard that the Duke of Buckley is dead. Yes, got his head knocked off by a golf ball. Tragic. Tragic. Well, how are you, Lord Melbury? How are you, then? All right, mate? How's me old bucker? Any valuables to deposit, Sir Richard? Any bricks or... I do apologise. You bastard!
In Fawlty Towers, I would say there was almost no ad-libbing. Because there wasn't time to rewrite the script. There was so much to learn in those 5 days. Somebody once said to me, did you enjoy making them? I said, there wasn't time to enjoy them. Because I knew exactly that by Tuesday, 4 o'clock, we needed to be at a particular point. We needed to have blocked the thing and have rehearsed the first half of it thoroughly. I knew exactly the schedule, I should say, that we were on in order to get the thing into the studio in time. And it was still a mad improvised rush, because even in the studio, we never, all 12 programs had a full dress rehearsal because there wasn't time. You see, in those days, and I don't know how it is now, the BBC spent the money on the drama, because that was the prestigious stuff, you know. And the comedy, where you were down there in the blood and the sand, you know, we had a day in the studio beginning at 10, rehearsed through 1 to 2 or 2:30 was a break, finish rehearsing at 6, have a little bit of food, relax, makeup, costume, and then the audience would be there at 8, and we had 2 hours from 8 to 10 to record the show.
Where are you going? What are you doing?
We're leaving.
Oh, don't. Please stay. You'll like it here.
I've never been in such a place in my life.
You snobs! You stupid, stuck-up, toffee-nosed, half-witted, upper-class piles of... pots!
My attitude to comedy has always been very simple, which is that I try to make people laugh as much as possible. And not everyone takes that attitude at all, particularly, I would have said, in the 70s and maybe the late 60s, when there were several comedy shows on television done by very smart, very educated people. But it was a very gentle comedy. I often felt they were more concerned to be clever than they were to be funny. And I always just wanted to make people laugh as much as possible. It really was just as simple as that. Therefore, I'm drawn towards fast because it produces extremes of behavior. And it's when there's tremendous energy going that the audience laughs the most. I mean, you can write the driest, wittiest thing in the world and people will laugh and enjoy it, but there'll never be the level of sort of laughing abandon that you get when you have a good farcical element, not least because in farce you can build lots and lots of visual gags. And if you want to make an audience really laugh, you want to get them on a roll, not just give them one laugh, break, next laugh, break. If you can go bang, 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 then you can sometimes get them hysterical. In fact, it's quite interesting because when we were doing Fawlty Towers, I used to say to the new actors who came in for rehearsal, I say, do not bother to wait for the audience to stop laughing before you do the next line. And they would always say, what? And I said, you've got a microphone here, you know, just literally up there. And the tape will record what you're saying because you're so close to the mic, regardless of how much noise the audience is making. And I want the people at home who are watching this program in ones and twos and who will not be affected by the infectious nature of laughter. They will be laughing much less than the people in the audience. So for the people at home, we have to play it faster than we will play it for the people in the audience. Well, the people in the audience are 200. The people at home are several million, so we have to concentrate on them. So I said, don't wait for the laugh. Just cut into it. Just keep the pace up. And that, I think, worked very well. It was also why we were able to do 135 pages when most people do 65, because they wait for every last laugh before they go on.
Oh, no, come on now, this is quite absurd. I'm sorry, I do not want the omelette.
It's nice.
I don't want the bloody thing. I've sent it back once.
Yes, give it to me.
I fail to see how this sort of thing can happen.
There, I've torn it up. You'll never see it again.
All I wanted was a cheese salad.
Let's put in one cheese salad. There we are, sir. I'm so glad everything is to your satisfaction.
No, it is not. It is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you are supposed to be running a hotel.
My, that does no good.
Yes, I've had the omelette, and then I had a prawn cocktail with a bloody silly name.
Look at that cheddar. It's delicious.
Then I had a plate of stew, and then the bloody omelette again.
Yes, well, can we keep it down?
Well, I mean, all I wanted was a cheese salad. It wasn't as though I'd ordered an elephant's ear on a bun, was it? I mean, the whole thing is... It's ridiculous.
Well, I'm glad we
I mean, for a man who's supposed to be running a hotel, your behaviour is totally incorrect.
Is there anything else at all?
Look at that cheese. Stop it.
It's all right. He's only joking. Don't worry. A bit of cheese went the wrong way. Never mind. He's fainted. Poor chap. Bit of cheese. Yes, please.
Fawlty Towers, now available for download at the iTunes Store.